Is by our very own. This is Waiting in the Wings.
By Tara Frejas. She's
over there.
Laughter and music filled the air during Hiraya and Jericho's surprise engagement party at the Teatro Lakambini roof deck. The bare space became a posh rooftop lounge, thanks to Kai and Mark's efforts, as well as refurbished props and borrowed items. Fairy lights, small paper lanterns, and paper cranes decorated the potted plants they kept on the deck, as well as the metal railings, adding magic to the ambiance. As the night wore on, Jericho started an impromptu jam session, which got everyone singing pop songs and show tunes alike. Even Ramon wasn't spared. But as he crooned to Maghihintay Sayo with Jericho on guitar, Ramon spotted Erin walking toward the far end of the roof deck. Back and forth she paced, phone pressed to her ear. She remained standing there, leaning against the railings and looking down at the street when he finished his song and let Hiraya take the stage. "Miss?" Ramon began as he approached Erin, a glass of soda in each hand. "I'm gonna have to ask you to step away from the edge." Erin looked over her shoulder and smiled when she saw him.
Or what?
Or... He heard his breath catch, seeing light dance in her eyes. Whatever he planned on saying fizzled at the tip of his tongue. Sighing, he asked instead if she was okay.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking of jumping.
"Good," he said and offered her a drink. "Because the street sweepers are probably asleep now and we don't want to bother them." She took the glass from his hand and made a face at him.
You are such a good friend.
He threw a sideways glance at Erin. She was staring into her glass of soda as though it held answers to whatever questions she had running through her mind right now. "Hey, is there anything I can do to make you feel better?"
No, I'm fine, thanks.
"You know you can be honest with me, Erin." A soft breeze blew past, bringing to Ramon's attention the heavenly smell of Erin's shampoo. It didn't help that she inched closer and leaned against his arm, her silent way of seeking comfort. He put an arm over her shoulder in response.
I'm not sure I want this thing with you.
"What? Why not?" Did he sound excited? Probably, but there was no taking that back, was there?
No, I don't know. He's great. He's great and all, but there's always this matter of time and his public image and...
Erin groaned and shook her head.
I feel so selfish right now.
"You're not the only one." "Selfish? How?"
Do you have someone that you like?
Ramon's throat dried up at the question. Yeah, sure.
Do you spend a lot of time with her?
Yeah, I guess.
You guess?
Well, it's time, all right, but it's time that's not mine alone. The words tasted bitter as he uttered them. She's pretty awesome, and a lot of people are drawn to her, so I just kind of share her time with everyone else.
And you're okay with that?
Sure, it's that or nothing at all. Erin snuggled close to him as though returning the comfort he gave her.
Don't you want more?
Of course I do. But I try to make as much of what I'm given. You don't simply stop liking a person just because they can't give you the same amount of affection. I mean that's selfish. Ramon paused, wanting to laugh at himself for sounding so pathetic.
But don't you get tired of that?
Maybe I will. Well, maybe then I can move on, but for now... He looked at her and smiled despite the painful lump in his throat. "For now, my heart knows no one else."
Aww.
Erin's lips wore a sympathetic little smile when she looked up at him again.
That's sweet.
A dry laugh escaped him. "Right?" He sighed, lifting a hand to her face and tucking a stray lock of hair behind her ear. In the background, Jericho began playing the opening chords to 90s OPM classic Nandito Ako, and Ramon wondered if their musical director knew he was scoring this scene perfectly. "Would you dance with me?" Ramon ventured to ask, and Erin's eyes lit up like he offered her the stars. Victory, he thought, as he wrapped his fingers around her wrist and pulled her close. It was amazing how they fell into step with each other so naturally, how they sort of knew where their hands should be, a pair clasped together, her free hand on his chest and his on the small of her back, and how even their breathing seemed to match. As he swayed her gently to the sad love song he thought hit a little too close to home, Ramon let the song's refrain escape his lips, low and whispery, like he was letting Aaron in on a secret. His secret. There was a curious gleam in her eyes when their gazes met again, and her lips parted like she intended to ask him something. But before Aaron could utter a word, Ramon pressed a soft kiss on her hair. Cheers erupted behind them, and they both turned, surprised at the sudden spike in enthusiasm. As it turned out, Pio had arrived, bringing with him some wine and pizza. Well, what do you know? Ramon mumbled, glancing at Aaron. He made it, after all.
Oh, yeah.
Neither of them seemed eager to let go, at least for the next several seconds. It was Aaron who stepped away first, using her hands now to smooth her hair. Avoiding his eyes, she cleared her throat and thanked him for keeping her company. Anytime, he said, and she was off.
Waiting in the Wings.
By Tara Frejas.